All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Southern Dog Men podcast. Squirrel season's basically over, so there's still a couple hunts going on right now. This past weekend, we just had the JPI going on. I think this weekend, we have the NSD World going on. I believe that is going to start Wednesday and roll through the weekend. So, hey, I want to congratulate everybody at the JPI. Awesome scorecards, awesome coverage of the hunt, great dogs. Some really good hunting went on. Really, really good scorecards. I wish everybody luck that is heading up to Kentucky for the NSD World. I'm going to be pulling for a dog. I'm going to be pulling for the Bad Ice dog that Mr. Adam O'Donnell has. That's who I want to see win the junior. And, of course, I'm going to be pulling for Mike Rush and all the LBK guys to have a great showing. So, guys, this is going to be a new series that we're starting. We're going to try to do 2 episodes a month, and it's going to be called the Trainer Series. So I come up with this idea heading home from Arkansas at the UMCA World, and kind of been reaching out to some folks, kind of getting some of their ideas, been brainstorming a little bit. But what we've come up with is we've got one man that is going to be taking basically, I think it's an 8-week-old puppy, and he's going to be working this dog through the summer, trying to get it competition ready maybe by November, December, January. His biggest goal is somehow to be able to have this dog ready to push in a hunt this year. Okay? The backside, I've got a buddy that's starting a coonhound. I think it's about 10 or 11 months old now. He's going to start pushing it on coons. So we're going to do 2 episodes a month, one with each guy. This is going to probably run up until, I'd say, squirrel season, maybe mid-squirrel season. They're going to come on. It's going to be a 30 to 45-minute episode, just kind of highlighting what went on for that month and what they're doing. We've always got people asking, hey, let's hear some more dog training tips. You know, I like to interview people, sit down, talk, get their backstory, talk some of their dogs. But I know there's several people out there, hey, what are y'all doing to train? You know, you got any tips? You got any of this? You got any of that? So all these people on Facebook and everywhere like that that's looking for information, guys, I'm going to try to bring it to you. We're going to try to bring it to you in podcast form, and hopefully it's going to help y'all get some of y'all's dogs started. Like I said, this is the first episode. We're going to do 2 a month, probably up until squirrel season. If it does good, you know, we'll probably drag it out the whole year. We'll just see where things go. But tonight, I'm joined by Mr. Dakota Crabtree, and he's going to be our squirrel dog man. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, just wonderful, just wonderful.
How things going up there in Arkansas?
Well, it's been wet this past weekend, but other than that, we're having a good time.
Well, from what I remember at the World Hunt, it looked like y'all needed some rain, so I'm glad y'all finally got some.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we definitely did need it.
So, let's dive on into this, buddy. You know, I've known you probably, I don't know, a year and a half. You know, we got to hunt together some last year. You know, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, you know, kind of how long you've been fooling with dogs.
Well, I guess when I was probably 6 or 7, my mom's dad bought me a rat terrier, and we kept it in, you know, just a yard dog, and treat a bunch of squirrels with it. And once he passed away, my dad's dad said we was going to get a real squirrel dog, and he went and spent a little extra change and bought a mountain cur that was pretty nice. I didn't know he was as nice as what he was, really. And I'd have been probably 11 or 12 when that was. And I just kind of hit the ground running. We hunted about every weekend during our squirrel season here, and didn't know a thing about competition hunts or anything, but just always had squirrel dogs. My dad's side of the family always ran beagles and hounds until we got that squirrel dog, and we just clicked on after that. And I always just ginned with dogs. So I've always had some sort of dog. I think I had 3 litters of puppies hit the ground my senior year of high school that was all cross between curs and a black and tan and a Catahoula, and I got them all started on squirrels, and that kind of paid my way through college there for a little bit, just selling those puppies that I'd started. And I guess I got out of it once I got to college and started running around acting like a kid. And let's see, I guess in about 4 years ago, I got on the quest of trying to find me another good squirrel dog, and I had been through a potload of them trying to find what I wanted, and just listening to podcasts, trying to figure it all out. You can't help but listen about competition dogs, so I piqued my interest. I used to team rope and needed some competition that didn't cost so much to own, so I decided I was going to find me a puppy to try to push in a competition hunt. And it's been about a year and a half now trying to find the right cross that I wanted that looked like it would produce some winners, and I think I finally found one.
So I'm going to start off by saying, like I said, we've been buddies for a while, but I did not know that you basically paid your way through college by training dogs. You've always said, yeah, I've kind of dabbled in dogs, but it sounds like you've got a bit of experience.
Oh, I don't know about that. They started themselves more than anything. We just had a bunch of squirrels that stay on the ditch dump behind the house, and I could get them going, and once they'd start treeing, I'd just start tying them up and getting them to stay. And everybody wanted a pleasure dog, and they was all spotted up like a Catahoula, didn't have any tails, and most of them had a little ear like a hound, so they kind of sold like hotcakes. It wasn't much of me doing nothing besides staying in the woods with them.
But you got the foundation to kind of understand what you're looking for in a pup you want to push, though.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I kind of wanted something to get going and stay treed. That's my biggest key that I think looks like would win, as long as they'll find a tree and stay with it.
Okay. Well, let's dive on into this pup you picked. What cross? What line? What dog did you choose? How's it bred? Who'd it come from? Where'd it come from? How old is it?
Well, it's I picked up last year when Asbury was pushing that Nova dog. I seen him posting her on Facebook so much, I decided I wanted a dub pup. And I guess in November I was sitting on a deer stand, and I just called Deucey and told him what I was looking for, and told him that Nova dog had piqued my interest so much I just had to have one. And he said, well, I've got a dub Iron Main cross going to hit the ground in December, and I'll just put you on the list. And so that's what I did. I got a female out of that. It's I think she's 12 or 13 weeks old this week.
All right. Now, and it's okay if you don't know. We can cover it on that next episode. Do you know exactly how dub is bred and the female? Do you have the?
Oh, I wish I'd even thought about the papers sitting on the kitchen table, fixing to go be sent off to NSD. I don't. I know Dub's out of the what's that? Razor's dog.
Duck Creek, right? D2's Razor, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, D2's Razor. Yeah,
okay.
That's about all I know. I know the Iron Maiden dog. I think Deucey changed her name to Dixieland Delight, but
okay.
I don't know that. I seen enough puppies besides Asbury's that was treating their own and doing it fast that I just decided I was going to go with it. We'd try it.
Well, what have you done with this pup since you got it home? I mean, you picked her up in Arkansas, correct?
Yes, sir. I've only had her for about a week. I was going to go get her, but Deucey said, I'll just meet you at UMCA World if that's fine. I said, that's fine by me. And I picked her up, and I think she's been in the truck, besides today, every day that I've drove a pickup, she's been in the pickup with me, and it got rainy and nasty, so I didn't haul her today. But we're just trying to get over the car sickness is our biggest deal right now, and we've been going in the woods. I think I took her into the big woods behind my parents here 3 times and just cut her loose and take off walking, and it's about a 15-minute walk if I just steadily walk, and I think for about 10 minutes, the last time I walked it, for about 10 minutes, she was missing. She was out of pocket doing her own thing, and then come check in on me.
Yeah. Well, let's start this thing. you talking about the car sickness. Are you letting her ride, in the cab of the truck with you? Is
Uh,
she in a dog box? I mean,
I've been
what
putting
are
her
you
in a
doing?
dog box. That's for sure. If I'm in a pickup, I put her in a dog box. But I've let her. She rides the tractors with me in the afternoons when I'm feeding cows. It seems like, and she rides side by side. I think she's been on side by side every day. Side by side, she don't seem to get sick in. I guess it's just the air movement. But the tractor and the dog box, she'll throw up once. And actually, the last two times she hasn't thrown up, she just drooled real bad. So
Hmm.
we're making progress. But
Now, are you putting her in the truck and on the tractor and side by side? I guess before you feed her in the afternoons, or you
yeah,
okay?
yeah, I have been. Well, in the mornings when we get in the truck, it's just first thing in the morning. I just load her up. But the side by sides, when I get home from work, I just load her up and then I feed after when it gets dark. After I do everything,
So you
feed the
trying to
dogs.
trying to ride her on an empty stomach to maybe help settle it, keep from
Yes, sir.
puking and all that.
Yeah.
So, and that's been
Yes, sir.
that's been an everyday thing since you brought her home, and you're already noticing a difference.
Yeah, yeah. She seems like she's getting a little better. The tractor ride today, she didn't puke once. She had some drool, but it didn't. She didn't slow her mood down. As soon as her feet hit the ground, she was back to running and smelling.
Well, I could I could kind of see where you're already a little bit ahead of the game. A lot of these people they kind of sit around and wait before they even start hauling a dog. It'll be 3, 4, 5, 6 months old. They'll go throw it in a dog box, and then you see the people. Well, my dog shit in the box. Well, it's puked everywhere. Well,
Yeah,
it's crapped everywhere. So you're already getting ahead of the game, introducing riding to this pup every single day, some sort of
yeah,
riding.
yeah. That's what you hear on all them deals that you need a dog that can ride in a box because you're liable to be 8 hours away or 10 hours away at a hunt, and they need to be able to handle the box. So I figure faster you get them used to it, the easier it'll be in the future. Has always been my motto on everything.
Hmm. Now, you said you've started, I guess, slowly introducing her to the woods. I mean, how's that been? I mean, are you letting her out in the yard just running around? You kind of locking her up
Oh,
and then taking her to the woods? I mean, how are you going about tackling that?
I keep her in a dog pen. I live pretty close to a gravel road that all the all the guys like to run 45, 50 down, and I don't want to risk losing her. So she stays in a pen, and then in the afternoons, if I get done early enough, mom and dad just live across the road, and I'll run up, and they've got about 20 or 30 acres of woods there, and then all the neighbors' woods butt up to them, so it ain't no big deal if a dog gets over on them. We know them all, and dad cut a big walking trail around his woods and through the middle of it, and so I just kind of take off walking, let her smell, let her do her own thing. And uh, one of the days I cut her loose with my bigger dog. I've got a 2-year-old Jip that's starting to figure out how to tree pretty decent, and she that Jip treed a squirrel and then went off and hunted, and I lost the pup, and I come back and that puppy was smelling around that tree trying to figure out what was going on. And then I guess it was yesterday, my wife and kid wanted to go to the park, so I just put her on about a 20-foot lead and took her to the park with me and seeing if she would chase any of the little dumb park squirrels. And she followed one up a tree and stood there and looked and tried to figure out what happened to it. But we're introducing some different smells for sure.
Now, when you're taking her to the big woods, I mean, are you putting her on a leash and cutting her, or are you just kind of riding her on the side by side and then just tossing her out, letting her run? Has there been any
What?
kind of lead work or anything?
Yeah. I mean, I try to keep her on a lead, especially I tie her in the side by side, and in the afternoons, if I after we get done walking and everything, I try to tie her up, get her used to being tied.
Hmm.
Uh,
Now, how is she
but
handling that? I mean, is she bouncing, trying to pull at it and bite at it, or is she kind of been
uh,
natural to it? Don't really
she's
care.
not been terrible. If it ever gets tight, she turns around and stands and looks at it and tries to figure out what's going on, and then after a little while, she'll step up, and when she's loose, she's fine. But like yesterday, when I had her on that 20-foot lead, she'd run and hit the end of it and realize I was holding her, and she'd turn and run back to me. But the leash work's been a lot easier than the tie out work. I will say that.
Now, how are you
Yeah.
approaching the tie out work?
About a 10-foot tie in the backyard, in which my yard's fenced in, so she does get loose. It's not a big deal in my backyard, and I just leave her tied out while after we run through the woods. I'd tie her up while I'm feeding all my other animals, and she can just see me walking and realize that it's all right for her to just sit there,
And see, a lot of people, when we're talking about tie out, take example the UMCA world. You go outside, and there might have been, what do you say, 20, 30 dogs tied out, and
at least
you had some that were sitting still, laying down, relaxing. You had some running back and forth, getting jerked around on the lead. Then you had some that just stand there.
Yeah.
I want a dog that if it's tied out, it's either going to lay there and relax or it's just going to stand there. I don't want it barking. Yeah. I don't want it pulling around.
Yeah, I think they need to know that if they're tied out, that is relaxed time, not try to get all worked up time.
Mm-hmm. Now, what kind of, and I can see where people could get confused with this. In a hunt, we're probably using 5-foot lead, 6-foot lead, you'd say, leading the dog.
Yeah, probably.
And then tie out, sometimes it's a 10-foot lead, sometimes it's a 6-foot lead. People may be sitting here going, well, why do I need to worry about tying my dog out? If I take it to a tree, it might lay down or something like that. To me, I think if your dog's got enough brains, if you got him tied to the tree, he's going to realize, hey, I need to keep treeing. But when that dog realizes, hey, we're not hunting, I'm tied out beside the truck, I need to relax.
Yeah, I agree completely. That's exactly what I think. I've got one of them. They sell them at our dog and hunt here in Arkansas. It's a 4-dog tie out deal that got 2 or 3 foot tie outs, and you clip them every so often. I do that. I haven't done it with this pup yet, but all my other dogs, about once a month, I tie them out for an afternoon to make sure they still remember what's going on. Mm-hmm. But I think I agree with you. I think that I've never had one that wouldn't bark when she was tied to a tree. But most of them will stay calm when they're not. Only time I've ever seen one bark on one of them leads is if I'm at my in-laws. You tie them out, and there's liable to be a squirrel run up 5 foot from them, and they'll go crazy then. But other than that, they realize, hey, this is just like my dog pen at the house. I just need to chill out.
And see, I also feel like starting this tie out work, starting the lead work. It's going to help the dog transition to the woods to where, all right, my dog's treed. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to leash my dog to the tree. If you're starting this lead work and tie out work early, when it starts to transition, you're not going to have this dog pulling at your lead at the tree, turning around, biting at it. Getting its neck jerked real hard. If a dog realizes, if I'm tied here, I'm okay. The leash is okay. It's not going to hurt me. I'm fine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and another thing that on one of which I've got some cow dogs, and one of the videos I watched on them, teaching a pup to tie out early, makes them realize to give it a pressure. So when you go to lead your dog out of the woods, if it's not hitting the end of that and still trying to pull you down, it's going to give and walk beside you for the most part.
Yeah. Everybody else talked to, they don't care about the dog pulling so much headed into the woods. You've pulled them out of the box. They got all that pin-up aggression. They're ready to stretch your legs. But dang it, if the hunt is over or we're done fun hunting, I don't want you jerking my arm off or jerking me through the woods when we're walking out.
Yeah, I'm wore out too. I don't feel like being drugged. I just want to walk nice and easy. That's exactly how I feel about it. But
so how's y'all's park set up? I mean, is this like a city park you're heading to, or?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's exactly what it is. Just kids playing on the jungle gym, bouncing balls, playing on the basketball court, and there's just got a little walking trail through it that's got a bunch of oak trees, and this holds. There's 5 or 6 squirrels that stay there year round.
So you just walking her through there and having her on that long lead, just kind of letting her smell around, huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what I've done. And she just there happened to be a squirrel on the ground about 5 foot from us, and she seen it and chased it to the tree, and it went up the tree, and she just lost it. But I wasn't expecting nothing. Just trying to get her out and used to everything right now.
But you kind of seen a good sign. You kind of already seen, well, she sees a squirrel. She knows she can chase it. Plus,
Yeah.
like you were saying earlier, when you took her to the big woods and you big dog treat, she went back to that tree and was smelling on it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, she's already got her
Yeah.
interest piqued.
Yeah. She definitely, and I mean, will go and do her own thing and look for something. She was gone for 5 minutes straight the last time I took her to the big woods. When she run off, I just hit my timer just to see how long she'd stay gone. I stood in the same spot and didn't see her for 5 minutes.
Now, did you have to call her back, or did she eventually
Nope.
just make her way back?
She eventually just made her way back to check on me.
Mhm.
But then we walked a little further, and she'd go get a. You could see, which we have burnt this set of woods off, so you can see 200 yards through there. And she'd go about 100 yards out there and just smelling around, going down the little creek bank where every small animal track we got runs down that bank. And so you could tell that's what she was on. She was falling down in, smelling every little tree, just checking things out.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you may have a nice, easy starting dog if she's already got interest in it. So
that is the hope. Ducey said every one of the last litter really took to it fast.
All right. Well, for the rest of this month, we're sitting here. It's the 12th, 13th, 14th. Heck, I don't even know what day it is. But what's going to be your plan for the rest of the month? I take it y'all probably had some good weather. Y'all are probably starting to bud a little bit. I mean,
yes, sir. Everything's turning green on us. We're going to try to at least 3 to 4 days a week go to the woods here. If not behind Mom and Dad's house, run down the ridge at some neighbors, or even to the WMAs, and just put a collar on her and go cut her loose after I hunt my big dog or before I hunt my big dog, and just let her explore a little bit and keep up the car riding and leash work, or just keep progressing. That's the whole goal, I reckon, is just seeing if we can get her on a squirrel. I've got one froze one in the freezer that I'm gonna make a drag or two with. I'm gonna probably wait till she's about 15, 16 weeks old and make the drag and see if I can get her to tree a drag. But after that, it'll be full go time. Let's see if we can't find our own.
now is there any plans you've kind of laid out ahead for when it's actually getting green? Say it's midsummer, you can't even see a squirrel. I mean, have you kind of thought about what you're going to be doing then?
Well, I've got a thermal in a shopping cart that I think I'm fixing to order. I don't know how well it'll work through the leaves, but I'm hoping that early in the mornings or real late in the afternoons it'll work on seeing one. But I've also kind of come to the conclusion if she trees, I'm going to praise her. And for the first little bit, I ain't going to be worried about what she's got trees.
I mean, the good thing is, you're close to that city park too. So
yes, sir.
I feel like if you're able to take her and she starts to possibly realize, hey, run this up a tree and start looking up and treeing, that could always help.
Yeah, she's definitely got a mouth. She'll let you know when she's ready to get out of the dog pen. That's for sure.
Now, if you started working possibly with a shock collar on the inside of the kennel, trying to
not yet. I bought a bark collar, but the neighbors and Mom said that they don't ever hear. Mom works at the office here beside my house, and she said she don't ever hear her during the day. It's just when somebody pulls in to park in the driveway, she gets excited and wants somebody to come get her. But I did. I bought a bark collar over the weekend, and I'm trying to decide when I want to put it on her, but it won't be very much longer, and she'll probably have that put on her.
It sounds like she might be a little quiet in the kennel. I mean, not barking unless somebody comes up. Our dogs here at the house, they're quiet for the most of the time. We may have a chicken get out, and the chickens may get around them and harass the dogs a little bit. They'll bark at that, or possibly a squirrel. I got some oak trees around the kennels. A squirrel comes in, they'll possibly bark, but.
I'm sure mine barks when all the big dogs bark. There's a cow pen that butts up to the back of my dog pens, and anytime the cows get close, about every one of them goes nuts.
Now
So I'm sure she's barking in.
how is she social wise around other dogs or people? I mean, is she a bold pup? Is she?
Yeah, she'll run right up to him. Her and my little boy, they're already playing all over each other. But yeah, even when we was at World Hunt there, we cut her loose in the parking lot, and she went up and smelled every big dog there just to see what they were.
Yeah.
She wasn't trying to hide, that's for sure.
Now, here's another question. What about loud noises? You know, have you shot any 22s around her? Have you done any beating and banging? You know how?
Well, I today, as a matter of fact, I thought about it today, and I usually keep a couple bottle rockets in the door of the pickup when I'm trying to get some dogs used to stuff, and I'll just light them and throw them out the truck window while I'm in the driveway when they're not realizing what's going on. And it popped. She stopped barking and looked around, and I stepped out of the truck, and she went right back to barking. She was excited to see me. It didn't really slow her down. She stopped and just looked and tried to figure out what popped, and went right back to barking.
Now, do you think having her on the tractor and on the buggy, you know, it can be kind of loud on a buggy, especially if it's a gravel road, and heck, I'm sure riding in them machines it's pretty loud too. So she's probably already got a good understanding.
Yeah, I normally don't have a problem with a dog being gun shy that I've hauled a bunch. It's usually the ones that get stuck in a kennel that end up being gun shy to me.
Yep. Well, do you have any advice for anybody that's kind of in the stage where you're at? You said she's what, about 11, 12 weeks old?
Yes, sir.
What would be your advice for somebody who's got a pup and they're getting ready? They're at the kind of the same stage. You know, they don't even really know where to start. What would you suggest to them right here?
Don't leave them in the kennel. That's all I can tell you is the more social you can make them, I think the better the dog will be. Personally, I just leaving one in the kennel till they're 6 months old, then expecting it to do something is hard on one because they ain't got no. Their only safe spot's in the kennel. I like them to think their safe spot is me, and I ain't gonna let nothing happen to them.
Yep. Well, like I said, buddy, we're gonna keep this thing going. It may end once you start killing squirrels. Heck, we may run this thing until you go enter her in a hunt and see if she's gonna be that competition style dog. You know, we're gonna let we're gonna let the podcast world and the Facebook people kind of decide what we're gonna do. But man, I'm
works for
looking
me.
forward to it, and I think you got a good bred pup. I think a lot. Let me get my words straight. I think a lot of Deucey. I think a lot of his dogs, you know, he's always showing, hey, we've made this cross, these dogs are doing this. But
yeah,
I agree with you 100%. That Nova dog that come off this last cross, man, fantastic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, Asbury may give Deucey the hardest time, but I think he's sold more pups for Deucey than he really knows, because I didn't know. I'd never met Asbury. Just had him on Facebook, and the more I watched, the more I was interested. Man, I like it, but I will get a look at the papers, and next time I can tell you what she is.
Yeah, next time
all the way back.
Next time you get on here, you know, talk about the pedigree and stuff like that. And look, guys, everybody needs to check out Dakota's Facebook. I'm sure you'll be posting videos. You know, I would like for you to kind of document it. You know, give us a once a month update. If it's just, you know, you take some pictures or small video of her in the woods. You know, keep us all up to date.
Sir.
Get some videos out there. You know.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to. I try to take a video every time, and then I try to just compile them and post once or twice a month videos and pictures of stuff. This is my plan anyway.
Well, she sure is a dang good looking dog, man. You sending me Snapchats of her every day. She's beautiful. I hope.
Yes, sir.
I hope she's gonna turn out and she's gonna get that white belly up a tree and she's just gonna blow the top out of one.
Yes, sir. She sounds like she's gonna have a pretty good little horn on her, but it's hard to beat a black dog with some chrome on it.
That's exactly right. So, tell everybody your Facebook page. I don't know if you got any kind of crazy handle or anything like that.
No, I think my Facebook's just Dakota Crabtree, and my Instagram is Crabtree is the name. I think that's all I got. I've got a TikTok, but I couldn't tell you what it is. I don't ever get on there.
I understand that. Well, man, I look very forward to this. I appreciate you coming on here and taking some time each month to sit down and give us all an update. You know, we're all rooting for you. Uh, I would love to see you have this dog in a junior world hunt sometime in the
That
near
is
future
that
coming up.
is that is absolutely the goal. That is absolutely the goal. I hope that it makes it there and makes it right.
Now you said by the time the UMCA rolls around, you said she'd be about a year old, right? Or possibly a little over.
She should be about 14 months old come UMCA world. The OMCBA and the LMC world should be just almost a year.
That's perfect. That's
Yes,
perfect,
sir.
man. I wish you the best of luck. I'm excited. I'm
Yes, sir.
excited to sit down with you and get updates every month. So
Yeah, it'll be a good time. I hope come September we're in Georgia trying to tree some with her.
yeah. Like I said, when you come riding up here, I know you come every Thanksgiving, man. Hopefully that little thing's Cadillac, and we'll go kill us some squirrels. So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That'll work.
but buddy, I appreciate it. We look forward to hearing from you again. Like I said, we'll do this. What is today's date? My phone is acting crazy.
The 10th, I think.
All right. So it's March, about April 10th. We're going to be getting another update from you, and we're all going to be looking forward to it. So,
Sounds good. Sounds good.
enjoy your night, brother. We appreciate it.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Take it easy, brother.
See you. Bye.